Welcome to your magic moon message. This is the peace dealer. The moon has entered Aries, and at about 5 p.m. at about 5 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on Wednesday morning, the full moon will be exact, and we will begin harvesting at 180-degree angle. So while it is still rounding up the 150 to 180-degree signature, you're coming into an authentic realization and receptivity into the identity of the character you are fully expressing socially. Because we're having this full moon at the later degrees, the increasing degree of the Aries moon will integrate this understanding of who you are in the behavior of the power and techniques, respectively, you're integrating. This 0 degree to 180-degree angle of activation and integration you can see every 2 weeks as basically from new to full moon as a loading screen, as you are, of course, with your actions based on the cardinal Libra, putting and piecing together post-activation behaviors, mannerisms, nuances socially that now, once we come into that 180-degree opposition, will seek towards completing the development of your character. So this will be very exciting. The moon's going to go over, of course, the North Node and align you with what you feel you are meant to do individually to prepare to harvest this. It's going to go through Chiron. In fact, the full moon is pretty much going to be near Chiron, releasing ego vulnerabilities that now you no longer need in order to facilitate the development of this character. Namely, who you felt you were before you left the house with these fly new wardrobe clothes, and how much you feel more confident in stepping in and being this new person. As when the moon goes into Taurus, you will now be transforming the natural quality of how you apply this sense of identification. So congratulations. This is pretty much now wrapping up 2 weeks of, presenting receipts for this I Told You So tour. And you could look forward to very powerful realizations of how to feel about who you are, which will now express itself more potently towards other people. It's important to understand that that 2-week period is what set up this development for you to harvest this understanding of the raw originality that goes towards this artistry. Cardi B, T.I., Aries moon, Libra suns, who will represent the raw artistry. It is the signature of the original Aries moon artist, Libra sun. So you're harvesting original artistry of this new unlockable playable character that now, from the moon in Aries to the beginning of Scorpio season, as I believe the sun is like 22-ish degrees. So in 8 days, we're going to go into Scorpio. This is going to harvest in preparation to completion. That means over the next week, you're going to be harvesting results. Then we will complete those results and review them, activate this new cycle of purity in Scorpio. This, relative to previous moon in Aries, have stacked on an increasing understanding of how to feel authentic in who you are. So we want to see this Libra sun Aries moon being that full completion. Because remember, we did have that new moon in Aries where we were initially sowing seeds to this concept of who you are. Relative to the analogy, you decided to become a track star. Well, now we're in the playoffs 6 months later in Libras. Now you're running a track meet. And so as you are harvesting this full moon, you are understanding who you are as a track runner in a regional track meet versus 6 months ago where you had just decided to take action to go on to the track field to begin to learn what kind of event you even want to run. So that's in one short 6 months, huge development. And that 180-degree opposition as opposed to the 0-degree conjunction in April is what's going to account for a major lever switch in getting ready to move forward. We had the new moon in Libra 2 weeks ago on the nodes, and now we're going to have the full moon that's going to still be near the nodes. So this is a very important transit. It's going to feel that way. You're going to feel excitement. You're going to feel that passion. You're going to feel irritated as fuck. But this is going to allow you to balance that with how it is you, of course, maintain authenticity while still being aware of what compromise you can accomplish, but not to the point that you forsake the authentic direction you are meant to move forward towards. North Node Aries. The moon will be sextiling Gemini. It's a closing sextile. So unlike the moon in Leo, that, you know, until June of 2025, that is opening up how to express on stage or what to express boldly on stage, this vocabulary, we're coming back around 300 degrees to the Jupiter in Gemini, so we can conclude this in, oh, this is who I feel I am. Let me now link that to this expansion of my vocabulary, which will now have you communicating more authentically and more into the fullness of who you are becoming. The cool thing about this is also that you're unlocking these superpowers. You activated the unlocking of this 2 weeks ago, and now that you have developed it, the harvest of this post-moon in Capricorn utilization serves as a bit of an activation as well as a harvest on the nodes, and will now have you moving more in the direction that you are authentically, quite literally meant to go. You want to follow your authenticity. Obviously, look at aspects of what you consider authentic that may get in the way of your relationships with others, and maintain those that, you know, foster the quality that you want. But once the moon goes into Taurus and goes over Uranus and goes into Gemini, this is going to harvest much more unconventionally and innovate moving forward to prepare us for the Scorpio opposition late November to Uranus, where now everything is in place. Like, we're fully in harvest season. And that's another thing you want to really keep in mind. We're really done planting seeds majorly. We're getting ready to harvest everything that we've done since February, March, April, May, and, you know, coming into June. So yeah, this actually serves to be pretty exciting. You want to look at this as a huge turning point towards March, where we will start all this again late March into April. But the theme of next year is the New World Order. Like, we're getting ready to now officially start the new themes over the next 30 years that won't really be segmented in until 2026. And yeah, we will have the moon square to Pluto at 29 degrees. So that final degree of the moon in Aries is just going to reinforce that collective pressure for you to stand on business relative to who you feel you are, aligned with truth and not delusion, of course. Hence, any necessary pressure that will bring up to the surface inauthenticity, you can deal with. However, any pressure that comes as a result of you maintaining authenticity, you brave your way through. And that potency will strengthen through Taurus, where we'll eventually have the trine in Taurus to Pluto, strengthening unconventionally this awakening of power. So it could get a little dark, but that's only if you're not releasing ego identification issues. If you're reacting to things that you know are not you, or to people who see you as less than you are unconsciously not really standing in your power, because you only respond to that which is being said towards you, not an idea of you, not a vision of you people want to put in a box. And these dynamics you will maneuver through will quite literally increase your potency and, of course, nature of where you're taking things. There is a very powerful defining aspect to these cardinal powers that we're coming into right now. And the North Node is in Aries, so it's just very action-packed and action-jammed with fated events. So, be very mindful of who you're talking to, who you're doing stuff with, knowing that even the slightest of actions can lead towards long-term and even short-term development that you're destined to do. It's just, while we're in the thick of it, you may not always be ready. You may be, but you may not always be readily conscious of, how, a small talk conversation could lead to something so much bigger. Not that it has to, but just, to put that out there. Anyway, I'm going to cut this short. Get ready to understand. You basically unlocked over the past 2 weeks a new unlockable playable character. Now you're understanding what the identity of this playable character is. All right. What's the name of it? What do you call it? When the moon is in Gemini, you will be speaking this language, thus now showing the higher meaning of the truth of who you're balancing out towards other people, and, how you'll begin to think and see into the truth of these superpowers. And when it comes to these superpowers, the moon in Aries gives that raw understanding of what more to do with it now that you understand how it could be used. That moon in Capricorn was a seed breaking through the ground. So now that it's harvesting, this will bring more into focus what you can do with it as the moon goes into Gemini. And just to give more understanding through that as well. You guys stay blessed as always. Also, make sure you hit me up if you would like astrology readings. I have astrology reports. If the consultations are, if you're not ready for a consultation right now, I could just record a report, email it. Go to my website, thepeacedealer.com. If you look at the services, you'll see the pay-per-call tab. I have Marcy on my team. I have, of course, you know what I'm saying, Pharaoh on the team. And I think we also have Fury General. I'm going to update his profile. And, of course, myself. You could look at our hours of operation. Hit it up. You can call us per minute. And we should be able to help you out. All right. We shout out to Marcy. She had an amazing call yesterday, I think for a few hours. So we are definitely out here. I'm going to work on doing more ad promos because I don't think anyone knows that the paper call really exists like that. But yeah, let me know what you need. Just a reminder, the whole consultation thing, it's really just about being available. It's just for you to know if you need a ring, let me know. I'm not too pressed about how many orders or money I make through it. But yeah, I'm going to work towards putting more advertising for visibility. So for those of you who are watching, you're not even aware that I have these services, check them out. Whenever you want to, call in or schedule an appointment, we got you. Peace.